What's it gonna be? How you gonna be? Who you gonna be? What's it gonna be? How you gonna be? Who you gonna be? What's it gonna be? How you gonna be? Who you gonna be? What's it gonna be? How you gonna be? Who you gonna be?
There are 13 energy centers in and outside of your body, below your feet and above your head. They're called your chakras. Your chakras govern your reality. They make your life happen. They're fueled by your subconscious thoughts, your life force, your action, sexual energy that exists in all of us, creating from the vibration that flows within us. Constant, consistent creation, directed by the choices that we make. You have the right to be who you're supposed to be, so what's it gonna be? You are the master of your vibration. Feed your mind for elevation. There is no time for contemplation. The time is now. So what's it gonna be?
Giving thanks for all things, great and small. For things that create and sustain our happiness in the form of all experiences, lessons, and gifts, equaling positive and perceived negative. We are grateful for people, places, and opportunities being revealed, and the opportunity to unlearn habits that no longer serve our highest good. We are grateful for experiences that support new understanding and growth. We give thanks. Calling upon the essence of ancestors and spirit guides that stand beside, behind, and before us, leading the way. We summon your presence and grace with wonder in our hearts and glory in our mouths. We honor you. We offer our thanksgiving. We offer our respect and love. We ask that you guide our thoughts and deeds as appropriate, that our actions reflect the highest good. We pray a yielding spirit to hear your sacred inspiration. We pray a clear mind to acknowledge your inspiration. We pray an unadulterated will to fulfill your inspiration. Moving forward in our everyday habits, counting the blessings and the continual support. We thank you for your presence in our lives. Ashe, by Odessa Queen Thornhill. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
Giving thanks and praise and honor. I thank each and every one for tuning in to the frequency of the grand rising of the Matriarch. I pay homage to all those who have walked before me. I pay homage to all my esteemed ancestors. I pay homage to all those who stood and fought for freedom, who had the courage to stand and fight for freedom, for those who held the sacred space, for those who wanted to fight and couldn't fight. I pay homage. I pay homage to all those who refused to cross those waters and laying down at the bottom of the ocean. I pay homage to you. I pay homage to all those known and unknown, the unsung and the song. I pay homage, ancestors, because it's to you I'm running your errands. Without you, there's no me. Without me, there's no you. I pay homage to each bloodline that is represented here tonight. We give thanks. We need you. We honor you. We adore you. We thank you for everything that you do. And as we take care of ourselves and we honor you, we ask for you to honor and take care of us. You can see where we can't see. You can go where we can't go. There's nothing you wouldn't do for your children, Egungun ancestors. Continue to watch over us to keep us safe from all hurt and harm. We continue to ask you for your wisdom and your guidance. Ashe, Amira, Mayat. Toe, toe, toe.
Ashe. Thank you. Thank you for joining us this evening. The Grand Rising of the Matriarch. I am Minister Reddy. I am here with Minister Iya Ojayemi and Minister SEG 13 on the ones and twos producing for us tonight. We give thanks. There was something that Minister Iya shared within our group, a YouTube video with the description of Sybil's great-grandmother moon goddess. There's a sister that goes by a Sojourner's Truce. And I listened to this and I also read the words that they have, and I just felt moved to read this. This is a Genesis story, her vision quest with Aset, Moon Mother Goddess. Hear me, child, and know me for who I am. I have been with you since you were born, and I will stay with you until you return to me at the final desk. I am the passionate and seductive lover who inspires the poet to dream. I am the one who calls to you at the end of your journey. After the day is done, my children find their blessed rest in my embrace. I am the womb from which all things are born. I am the shadowy, still tomb. All things must come to me and bear their breath to die and be reborn to the whole. I am the sorceress that will not be ruled, the weaver of time, the teacher of mysteries. I snip the threads that bring my children home to me. I slit the throats of the cruel and drink the blood of the heartless. Swallow your fear and come to me, and you will discover true beauty, strength, and courage. I am the fury which rips the flesh from injustice. I am the glowing forge that transforms your inner demons into tools of power. Open yourself to my embrace and overcome. I am the glinting sword that protects you from harm. I am the crucible in which all the aspects of yourself merge together in a rainbow of union. I am the velvet depths of the night sky, the swirling mist of midnight, shrouded in mystery. I am the chrysalis in which you will face that which terrifies you and from which you will blossom forth vibrant and renewed. Seek me at the crossroads, and you shall be transformed. For once you look upon my face, there is no return. I am the fire that kisses the shackles away. I am the cauldron in which all opposites grow to know each other in truth. I am the web which connects all things. I am the healer of all wounds, the warrior who rights all wrongs in their time. I make the weak strong. I make the arrogant humble. I raise up the oppressed and empower the disenfranchised. I am justice tempered with mercy. Most importantly, child, I am you. I am part of you, and I am within you. Seek me within and without, and you will be strong. Know me. Venture into the dark so that you may awaken to balance, illumination, and wholeness. Take my love with you everywhere and find the power within to be who you wish. Again, the description of that was the Sibyl's great grandmother moon goddess by a Sojourner's Truth. You can find her on YouTube. That was very deep and moving for me.
That was amazing.
When I listened to it and when I read it and when I said it out loud. It's very powerful. And it speaks on everything that we have been talking on when it comes to the grand rising of the matriarch. And it's exactly, it envelopes everything. It's it shows the different sides. Like it shows the protective side of the mother. It shows the loving side of the mother. It shows that we are everything. And when we speak about value, as we spoke on last week, that is very, very valuable. To be able to have a space to heal. It says, I'm the healer of all wounds. The healer of all wounds. Wow. I know you wanted to elaborate further into the value of the womb. And I'm not quite sure where to run with it, but I know we're going to flow with it. And there's so many directions and there's such a deepness. So there's so many depths to the value of the womb. We talk about melanin. We talk about the being able to birth, being the creators of everything. That is very powerful. Yes. Yeah, are you there with me? Uh-oh.
Yes.
There we are.
Okay. So the value of... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just reiterating what I had said because I wasn't sure if we had a disconnect or if you had heard what I was saying.
Yes, you talk about the value of the womb and how deep can it go. As she said, the womb is creation. The womb is life. The womb is valuable. The womb is what a woman it's her sacredness. It's her intuition. It's her creativity. It's her everything. It's her portal. It's her gateway. And we have not been, our mothers never told us about the value of the womb. What would they say? Keep your legs closed or, have sex but never the importance of not having sex or when you, sleeping with anybody or, really holding yourself for marriage or, holding yourself for that special person. It was never really explained to you why, the womb is so sacred and so valuable in your vagina because they are, and now as you become more wiser, more intuitive, the deeper you go into self, you realize that everybody you have slept with, whoever they slept with, you now sleeping with them. And if you're sleeping with someone and you're not vibrating on the same vibratory frequency, whatever's going on with them is now deposited into your womb.
Right.
So teaching our daughters and our sons the value of the prostate and the womb is the most secretive gift we could give. And it goes back to letting, allowing, and accepting. So often we let people into our lives that don't deserve a front row seat, as Ayanna Van Zant says. Three people come into your life for three things: a reason, and a season, and a lifetime. But a lot of times we allow people in our lives and we give them front row seats. But that person doesn't really deserve the front row seat. And the reason I want to really just talk about us and our value of our womb is so often we give ourselves away to people. And if we truly valued our womb, if we truly knew what she experiences when we neglect her or when someone sleeps with us undeserving, what it does to her.
I definitely can relate to that as far as to both things you were saying, as far as not being necessarily taught the value of the womb and the reason why you're telling me not to have sex. Just the story, don't do it. And definitely dealing with men that, like you said, they don't deserve a front row seat. And dealing with them, and it does do a lot of damage as far as psychologically when you're dealing with somebody sexually and you're not vibrating on the same frequency, spiritually, mentally. And that goes back to the values. Being clear on the value that one has.
I would like to jump in on this one really quick and just say that the conflict shows up immediately through our womb. When you're in a relationship with someone and you let that person, enter your space, your sacred space, your womb and the energy that exists within you is already calculating, and it's already getting the frequency of this individual, right? And so then once that happens, usually the relationship is gonna combust in some way. Then conflict is gonna start happening, and a lot of people think that it's just, that's just something that happened, we're not compatible. But that's like your womb, your inner self, straight up giving you information, and we haven't been able to translate that information, and we think it's something else. So I'm so happy that you guys are talking about this tonight. And I yield the floor.
Well, to me, we have never been taught to honor what we feel. When you meet somebody, be it a child or children, are very intuitive, and they automatically know the energy of a person. So sisters have that same energy. No, when they first meet this person, and I don't want to just keep it on a male, female, because I just want to say people in general. When you meet somebody, you automatically know. You automatically know who this person is that stands before you. You get that feeling, you get that knowing, and that womb is talking to you. Now, you can choose to ignore that because a lot of us, as children, when we would say certain things, you don't know that, that's not true, or you don't know anything, so we shut that down. But it still exists. When a sister sees a brother, she automatically knows. She automatically knows. But we choose to ignore those warnings because the womb is talking. She's saying, no. Something about this isn't right. But we choose to ignore all of those feelings for whatever reason. But it goes back to honoring her. Whatever she feels, she's going to let you know automatically. The signals are going to start going up. That feeling is going to show. She's going to tell you. Even when other sisters come into your life, whatever comes, she's going to let you know exactly who stands before you and how they stand. So when a lot of times sisters say, well, I didn't know. Yeah, you kind of knew, But if you go back and you look over it and you see when the first feeling you got, and when you really see that, then you can say, I did know.
Mm. Well, it takes a high level of accountability.
I will call it accountability, yeah, but you have sometimes how a person was raised also. So if you were raised not to ignore what you felt, then really trusting that, because a lot of us don't trust ourselves. So if we don't trust ourselves, we're not going to trust the feelings that we get. That's why it comes back to when you let and you allow and you accept. When you're talking to sisters, really just pay attention. And very few of us really trust ourselves or trust what our womb is saying. So a lot, because of their root chakra, a lot of us have trust issues. So as mothers, and we have our daughters, and even we have our sons, we talk to them about, the sexual, I won't call it the sexual act, the sexual creativity, and explaining exactly what it means when you choose to have sexual intercourse, or listening because their prostate talks too.
Right.
Really teaching our children how to value and honor what they feel, because that's value.
Right. Explaining what the chemical process is with what you are feeling physically, and how to deal with that. Like, you don't have to just flow with that because somebody else is asking you to, or because you just feel it, But if you're not aware of what's going on, like a superpower, you're most likely gonna misuse it before you really understand what it is that you have.
Okay, I gotta ask a question. I've listened to other podcasts, and you use the word superpower. So can you explain to me what a superpower is? Because I don't.
Okay, when I say superpower, I guess I'm more thinking superheroes. Where I'm thinking, walk through walls and pick up and go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, all
superhero
right.
type.
Well, we've always been able to do those things. Always. So maybe we don't know that we've been able to do those things, but we've always been able to do those things. And I don't want to get back off the subject, but I do. Look at our ancestors. They came here with nothing. They built stuff. This sister taught us this song. We are the children of the ones who would not die. We are the children of the ones who could fly. So it's been known through our history that our people could fly. It's been known through our history that sisters walked on water, healed the sick, and raised the dead. It has been known since history that we could leave this physical form at any other time that we chose. We've always had power. We've always had those innate abilities. I just want to lay that right there. We could pick this up at another podcast, but we've always had that. Always. And if you really, we call it astral travel. Some people call it daydreaming. I know you've had instances where you've just left your body.
Yes. So
that's our innate ability. It's nothing super about. If we call ourselves powerful, then does it have to it manifest in some form, some fashion, some way? But we keep looking at ourselves as being finite instead of infinite. If we're omniscient, omnipotent, and all power, that means we're everywhere. We all knowing. That's a part of knowing the value. So it all ties back into the value. And if you're looking at, that's a myth, the superhero. That's that myth that they want you to think that you don't have that.
Right, that's what I was thinking just now.
But we've always had those. We've always been able to do those things. Always. Where do you think they got it from? They don't have a story. That's our story that they're telling. But because we haven't went back into that ancestral lineage. That's because we haven't went deep enough back into that womb we want to call rebirth. We haven't rebirthed it back into that womb. We haven't rebirthed it back into the bloodline to know what powers, what gifts we have or carry. But the deeper you let yourself, the deeper you accept and allow yourself to go as far back as you possibly can. But it also comes from having someone to grow up. I'm maybe not pronouncing it right, but if there's someone to tell the story. It's always been a grandmother, mother, a nana, or aunt. Someone has always carried the story from generation to generation to generation to generation.
And that's what has been missing, because we haven't, this current generation, not to put everybody in a box, but there's a missing piece of honoring the elders and the ancestors, putting them in homes instead of taking care of them and things like that, and not valuing them while they're here and getting that information from them, and not even having the care to want to know. Feeling that what they have is outdated or not, doesn't need to be known. But a lot of times, I feel, going back to what we were saying about the value in dealing with having sex, even sex itself, as I minister SEG 13, is saying that sex was taboo in her world. You just didn't have it, period. And that was I can relate to that because my mother was kind of the same way. So even when I didn't follow that and I did end up having sex before I was married, I didn't feel comfortable telling her because there was so much shame, So it was like a secret. And of course, I didn't really know what I was doing. I thought I knew what I was doing, but I wasn't prepared to be sharing myself in that manner with a boy. And I can't even say it was a man because I was a girl. So I could definitely relate to what I Minister SEG 13 is bringing to the table through the chat, because it's definitely
no child is ready for sex. You're a child.
Right.
Some adults aren't ready for the sexual intercourse. It's a sacred act. It has been taken from a sacred creative act until it's just something you do. Because the value has been lost. Value in the melanated community is a moral that no longer exists, but it takes strength and courage to bring it back. It takes strength and courage to say, as a sister, I didn't value myself. I don't value myself, but going forth, I am going to value myself. I'm going to go within and look for those gifts that are within me. And when I share myself with someone, I'm going to share myself because when you know your worth and you know your value, you're not going to let anything that does not know your worth and value, it's not going to come down near you. But it comes from you knowing your worth and your value. And that comes from being in the womb, as being in your mother's womb and teaching the children from the womb. But also, as sisters, we can go back and rebirth ourselves back into our mother's womb. And create the birth that we want, and create that relation, and create that through that umbilical cord.
That is very interesting. You said that we as sisters can rebirth ourselves through our mother's womb.
Yes.
So that will basically kind of reset everything. Okay. Instead of coming forth with the trauma, you will come forth with something else.
Yes.
Instead of coming forth with that, you would, like last week, we talked about the ancestral gifts that are in our DNA. We often talk about the trauma, the PTSD or whatever that we're suffering from, but we don't elaborate more frequently on the gifts that we have that are within our DNA. And we can rebirth ourselves to activate those gifts more or less than the trauma, the generational trauma.
And it's still a part of that needs to be healed, but you can heal that with love and forgiveness and still rebirth yourself through all of that and still bring forth those gifts, and ancestral lineage and all of that. And have the relationship that you're going to have with your mother.
Right. Our minister, SCG 13, says, in desperate times, women are recognizing even more that their valuable yoni can pay the bills. That has to be redirected for healing. This is why they created the sexual wars, to destroy the root and make us forget who we are.
Well, what's the primary cause of suffering? What is the primary cause of suffering? Is it not forgetfulness?
Yes.
And it takes courage to go in and say, you know what? I'm going to honor myself. I'm not going to sleep with anybody until I actually went and did some healing on myself. I'm not sharing myself with anybody until I can get my worth and my value. Until I let myself know my worth. Allow myself to know my value and my worth of my womb. And once I let and accept my value and my worth of my womb. So the letting is the creative piece.
Okay, the letting is the creative piece.
The creative piece. The allowing is the knowing. And the acceptance is the wisdom part of it. Because you have to, in the beginning, how did the mother create? She created from let there be.
Right.
And then once she created from let there be, then she allowed it to come forth. And once
knowing that that's what it would do.
Yes. And the acceptance of it is and it came to pass. So her creation came into fruition. We are the producers. We are the fruit.
Mm-hmm.
But until we know our worth and our value, until we can let it and allow it and accept it. But it takes courage and strength and wisdom. I'm always go back to that. It takes a courage-filled life to say, you know what? I'm going to look at these things, and there's just some things I'm going to shift about me. You know, I say a lot of us like for people to say, oh, well, I can help you, or I can do it. No one can do this for you. You have to do this for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, to a sister who uses sex for money, I can't knock her, and I'm not going to knock her. But what I'm saying is, she has to come to the point where she sees her value and her worth. I don't know what her karma is. I don't know what she comes to do in this incarnation. Or to a sister who doesn't value herself or know their worth, I could only hold a sacred space for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that there's an energy that's being returned back to this planet. And the energy is the matriarch, the mothers. So it's all about your value. It's all about your worth. It's all about the love, the feeling nature. And so often we're told to shut that down. Don't feel anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if you teach your daughters that their womb is golden and precious, she will be treated as golden and precious.
Mm-hmm.
Or that she has a voice and she speaks and she'll guide you. And how creative she is. You know, because, see, they talk about the Ankh. I'm going to share a secret now that no one will ever tell you. Now, they say the Ankh is life, loosely translated, but the Ankh is a sister womb. The top is the womb. The circle is the womb. The leg, the arms are the fallopian tubes, and the one they say the penis is really her vulva. So it's us. We're the Ankh. We're creation. We're life. And if you pay attention, if you look at your vagina, you'll see that Ankh is us. From the womb to the fallopian tubes to the lips. That's the part that we're not being told. That's the secret.
Wow, I think we need to get like a gunshot sound in the background. Blum, 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 dropping bombs on here.
So that's what's hidden, that we have to be able to go into those mysteries. That unveiled mystery.
Mm. Yes. The depth of the mystery. There's somebody in the chat speaking on the sex being stronger than any drug. To some, sex is very, the sexual appetite or drive is very strong to them. And you were speaking of, being abstinent, making that choice to be abstinent in order to cure yourself, clear yourself, clear your womb, build a relationship with yourself in your womb, which is yourself. How do you deal with that? What is some ways that people can deal with gaining self-control over their bodily members and their sexual inclinations, their drive?
Okay, well, how do you get control over your mind? It's a practice, right? So if you decide to say, well, I'm going to abstain from sex. So if I'm going to abstain from sex, that means it's a practice. I have to talk to all my body parts. I just can't say I'm going to do something. You have a physical form. You have more than one body. You have a mental body. Mm-hmm. You have a physical body. You have an emotional body. You have an etheric body. Mm-hmm. You have a mind. You have a heart. You have a body. You have a spirit. So if I'm going to do something, I'm going to talk to all those body parts. And we're going to sit down and we're going to have a conversation. And we're going to discuss exactly what we get ready to do. So when some people say they have a high sexual drive, that means you're living from a low carnal nature.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times when a sister has trauma, sexual trauma, it either can make you promiscuous or it can make you prudish.
Mm-hmm.
But there's
one extreme to the other.
One extreme to the next. So when sisters tell me they have a high sex drive, well, okay, well, if you have a high sex drive, what's driving that sex drive? What's driving that? Because there's got to be something driving that. What's driving that sex drive to where you feel like that you got to have sex? It's a mind thing.
Right.
So when you truly are in tune and you're in that root chakra and you've done that work, the safety, the trust, the security and all of that, no. So when you are feeling that sexual, raise that energy up. Because you can raise that energy up. You can bring it up. Or guess what? Do some freaking exercise. Do some deep breathing. Mm-hmm. But what you keep your mind on, energy goes. What is it? Your attention going to go wherever your energy flows or however that goes?
Yeah.
So if you truly want to sustain from something, if you truly don't want to do something, practice the presence and you'll receive the present. So if you practice and you say, just for right here, just for right now, see, a lot of us don't be in this moment. We in the past or we in the future. I'm right here in this moment. So when you're in this present moment, you only have this moment. So there's no, if you're in this moment and your whole mind is on sex every moment, something is going on there. We need to maybe, you might need to go see a therapist or something. Because there's a piece of trauma here.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny or facetious, but there's something going on here that I haven't looked at about myself. Because if you truly begin to see yourself and your worth and your value, it's just like people say, oh, well, when you truly love yourself, this is something that the universe gave me. When you truly love yourself, nothing foreign to love can coexist in your world. But when you truly love yourself, you can only draw what you are.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if people say that they just say you like sex or you like having sex, we could say that, and that would be the truth. Just say that. But I got the high sex drive. Well, where it come from?
The wheels turning in your mind.
Because what else is on your mind? What are you occupying your mind? What are you putting in your mind?
Right.
Yeah. If you're not feeding yourself anything other than the carnal nature, or I don't want to say that, I'm just going to say the carnal nature, that physical body. If you just feed that physical body and you're not feeding it any spirituality, we come in a spirit. We didn't come in a physical form. We adopted this form so that we could heal our karma and transcend and rise above. But we chose a physical body. So we come as a spiritual being. We come as a spirit.
Right.
We didn't come in no bodysuit. We came as a spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And that spirit developed into a body. But you're spiritual first.
Our minister, SEG 13, she has a powerful testimony. I want her to say something if she doesn't mind.
You want me to tell you about how I used to use sex?
Yeah, what you had just shared with me.
I was sharing that I used to use sex to medicate, and I was a person that was abused sexually when I was a little girl. So I came to know sex as a power. And so I would use it to kind of get back at my abuser. And I didn't know at the time that that's what I was doing. But, I just felt powerful in doing that. And so, it became a thing for me to have to really work through that letting, allowing, and accepting, and recognizing when I Minister Oyemi talked about the drive, that's very serious. What was driving me? And what was driving me was that was bred in me when I was little. And I carried it on through my adulthood. And I was fortunate enough to be able to find a partner that was able to work through those things with me. But it was definitely, it was a hard time. I'll say that.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Because I can imagine there are some people who use that to medicate that are dealing with that and it's feeling like you're the one being back in power because it's your choice and you're doing it, and so this is what I'm doing, and I'm the one controlling this thing.
Yes, and it's a mind, it's a mind fuckery that you do on yourself, because in my time I told myself, as long as they can't get on top of me, I would not let nobody get on top of me. I was the master. I was the ruler. I was the one using my power. And, at that time, I didn't realize that I was abusing myself, obviously. I was self-medicating, and I was addicted to the feeling of being powerful. Because I was using my superpower all in the wrong way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you said something that most people... Go ahead.
No, it was something else. Go ahead.
What SEG 13 just said is most sisters aren't aware that the most powerful position of a sister is being on top. That's when a sister carries that ashe. That's the most powerful sexual position there is.
Mm-hmm. Could I share something that really scared me back in 2013 when I was discovering?
You sure can.
Thank you. I was really in 2013 was when I really had to face my sexual self and who I believed myself to be and who I am. And there was a time where I was able to, I basically was having relations with my partner. And I started calling on the energy of Kali. And it was the craziest thing that had ever happened. I felt my body like being taken over by this really powerful, strong energy. And I didn't realize that it was Kali at the time, but it definitely had to do with the being on top and the energy that came from that. And it was when it was happening, I was getting instruction on what to do. And it wasn't just one instructor, it wasn't just Kali. It was like these sexual energy goddesses that were, oh gosh, it gives me chills when I talk about it. They were like around me, telling me what to do, and they were telling me how to manifest through that power, and it was, if it didn't happen to me, I would have never believed it.
Wow.
Well, believe it because it happens.
It was scary. I was like, who are you?
That is juicy. That sounds like a scene from a really good, like, spiritual sexual novel type.
Yeah, they taught me a lot. They taught me a lot.
They call her Lilith. They call her Lilith.
Ache, Lilith. Yes. Yes,
Lilith.
indeed.
Lilith.
Can you speak to us, Mr. Oyeyemi, more about that Kali, that Lilith, that energy that it just lives in us? We can't make it go away. We can't turn it off. We can't say that just because we don't know who they are that it doesn't exist in us. Because as soon as we hear the name and we start to do the research on certain things, we start to feel it like it's us.
Yes, it is us. It's the shadow. Lilith was Adam's, we know it's a fallacy, but Lilith was Adam's first wife. And Lilith refused to bow down to Adam. She says, oh no, I can't be under the bottom. I have to be on top. So Lilith had a problem because Adam wanted to be in control. She said, oh no, I didn't come to be controlled. I know who I am. I am the creature. I am the creatress. I'm the matrix. So no. You don't get to tell me what to do. So Adam got upset and Lilith said, oh, I'm out of here. Same with the Kali Ma energy. No one can control them because we wasn't here to be controlled. We've always, that mother energy or that female energy has always been creation, has always been life itself. We come up out the dark primordial waters. So the Mammy Waters story is about how when the brother goes, some brothers go to sleep at night and the mermaid comes and sleep with them. It's a part of who we are as women. We carry that our shame, we carry the energy. That's what you said about superpower. I'm like, superpower? Honey, you don't know who we are. And so we hide from that. We're afraid of that. We don't embrace that. So it will give when you see the woman saving her children, that's that warrior. Kali Ma carries that warrior energy. She carries the energy of, I'm female and I'm male, but I don't come to play. I'm creation within itself. I will destroy you. I whip you back into shape, but I do it out of love.
The Great Mother.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, we are so grateful for this space and time tonight. Diving into the grand rising of the Matriarch. You can meet us here again next week at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We invite you to check out our website, www.mastervibration13.com. We have some things going on. We have a raffle that we currently have to win some really exciting products and services. The raffle tickets are only $5. You can enter into the raffle by sending a cash app to SEG 13 Love, $SEG 13 Love. And myself, I Minister Reddy of I Ready Healing, is seeking to obtain an RV so that I may take this healing on the road. Cat Lady Crazy. I Ready Healing. If you feel moved to do so, you can still cash app SCG 13 Love the same way and put RV in the notes. We give thanks for all the support. We have something going on within our circle where we are helping and assisting those and paying bills. We know times are hard. And the more help that we receive, the more that we can be of help to others within our circle, and our outreach can be more and more. So we thank you for all your contributions. We thank you for sharing this divine space and time with us. And what else do we have going on? Oh, we also have
Woosah Wednesdays.
Yes, we have Woosah Wednesdays. Join us Woosah Wednesdays. If you want to read get the playback, I don't even have the link in front of me for the playback, but if you are a part of our membership in our group, you definitely have received notification of that, and you can access the playback. If you missed it, you can join us. Also, that's 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. You can join us for Woosah Wednesday. And if you would like to have a session amongst us practitioners, in a private setting, the Woosah Wednesday is only $20, and you will be, usually it's about three, we promise you it'll be 3 practitioners at the very least that can hold a sacred space for you and provide intuitive guidance and solutions to assist you where you are on your journey.
Also, Woosah Wednesdays on YouTube also.
Yes.
Yes.
I just wanted to
on the SEG 13.
Yes. I wanted to chime in really quick because I don't know if you got the message that I just sent you. I'm Minister Reddy, but I'm Minister Jameson Beverly is saying in the chat room that men need to speak on this more. I appreciate this more than clubbing, social media, money, and feeling comfortable. Thanks. And thank you, JB. Ashe.
Thank you so much, Minister Jameson, for your attendance with us. We thank you for your comments, and you are definitely on point with that. And we have Minister Solution 13 that is definitely going to have that auxiliary where the men will be coming together to discuss these things and be a part of this discussion, because it is very important for the men to understand the value of us as women and understand the value that they also in turn receive from coming from a woman.
We also have somebody in the chat that says the sexual energy isn't all that bad. It's creative fire energy. I agree wholeheartedly, but it's the creative fire energy with the right person. It's when you're using it as creative fire energy. A lot of times we're not using it as the creative fire energy. We're not using it as that. We're using it as SCG 13 said, we're using it as a crutch. We're using it as something to feel like we got the power. And a lot of us are using it from a place of trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I want to acknowledge the fact that it is very creative. It's very fiery. It's, Dr. Ben said, heaven is between a woman's legs. So we know the power of what it can do. But we wanted to use it in a righteous way. He wants sisters to feel good about themselves while they're using it in a righteous way.
I see. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you, my sisters and my ministers, for being here with us tonight. Peace, love, and wholeness.
When I feel the sound of music vibrating in me, I take hold of the energy and ride the frequency. My soul makes the melody of my life, so I must see. Every tune that comes through me brings balance to my being. I have the power to change the direction in me through sound. I have the power to change the direction in me through my mind. I am creation, I am animation, I am rise, vibrant star in all of the constellations. I am zip, pepper, sass, punch, bounce, moxie, mojo, whatever you call it. I am Ajay, 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 Ajay. Ajay, 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 Ajay. Ajay, 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 Ajay. Ajay, 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 Ajay. Ajay, Ajay, Ajay. 13, Ajay, Ajay, Ajay. 13, Ajay. Ajay, Ajay. Ajay, 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 Ajay. 13, Ajay, Ajay, Ajay. 13, Ajay.
Ashe.
Sure.